Hey guys, welcome to JasonWhiskyWise with myself, Jason, bringing you whiskey review number 80. And today we're going to review the Arran Port Cask Finish. So this is part of the Arran Finishes range, which I'm reviewing on the channel. We've got two more to come, which is one is going to be the Madeira cask, and then I'm going to take a little break from doing these ones, and I'm going to be doing something rather unique. Now I will be also featuring some expensive whiskies, and I'm talking my 90th review to my 100th review. We're lining up some big hitters in the whiskey industry, so we'll have those fairly soon. We're like 10 reviews away. So let's begin. I'm going to pour myself a dram and talk about this whiskey. So, in terms of the whiskey review style structure that I follow, this whiskey has an age, well, it's classified as an NAS whiskey, so no age statement whiskey. However, it has an ABV of 50% ABV. The cask selections in this one are traditional whiskey oak casks for 8 years, and then it is finished in port casks, and they don't specify the length of the age or the maturation in the port cask for finishing. Now in terms of the distillery is the Aran Distillery, which you can see over here. The parent company for them are the Isle of Arran Distillers, as it is independently owned, and the region is from the Isle of Arran, which is just based off the sort of south of Glasgow. So very close, very easy and accessible should you get the ferry across. So anyway, we're going to sort of jump straight into the price point of view on this one. And this one's at £43. Pretty much all the cask finishes are all around about £43 in price. Maybe maximum hitting, I'd say if it's above 50, it's probably not worth buying. But in terms of £43, reasonable price on that note. And in terms of exclusivity, no, it is not exclusive. It is part of that sort of core cask finish range. And in terms of caramel color, this is all naturally colored. So you can see over here, that is its own natural color. So really nice natural color. It's got this like pinky hue to it as well. So let's begin by assessing the color for this whiskey. I'm gonna let you guys assess it with me at home. If you've got yourself a bottle or a dram, pour yourself one of these and let's get started. So I'm just trying to swivel around, see if the camera will focus on the glass. Alright, so I'm going to go with this one. In terms of colour, I'm going to go with a tawny gold sort of colour to it, because it's got like that slight hue from that port cask, which I can't sort of write off. So a tawny gold. So let's begin by assessing the nose. To start on the nose with this whiskey, you do pick out a lot of those sweeter notes coming through. I'm talking about sweet dark prunes, dark plums as well. Even maybe a little bit of figs all together in this one. You're also getting a little note of citrus, and I was picking more on my left side there. It's like a citrus sort of fudge, because recently I've been experimenting with fudges as whiskey pairings with fudge. So, but like a citrus sort of fudge that you get combined together, and right behind that you get a sort of like an appley note. Like an apple and rhubarb pie, and it's like almost you've taken sort of vanilla custard and you just like poured it over the top and dusted it all with icing sugar, giving the nice little sweeter aspect to it. Really, really nice nose in this whiskey. So next we're going to move into the palate. Let's see what we can discover on the palate. So on the palate for this whiskey, I kept it there for a little bit longer than I normally would. Normally I run about 15 seconds for one of these NAS whiskies, just to really get the flavors and understand the texture if it develops. It's got a medium full texture. It's sort of like silky. Almost gets creamy, but then it stops, and I was kind of confused about that. But in terms of the flavor profile, that then just makes its way through, because texture is the first sort of aspect that I judge. Flavor profile, I'm getting tangerines, a little bit of the tangerine pith, a tangerine juice, sort of combined together. And I'm getting that inside slightly bitter, but not heavily bitter on this one. You get like almost like a cinnamon bun, like a warm cinnamon bun. You're taking a nice bite out of that. You get that chewy sort of little burst of spice and a nice sweetness that combine themselves really well together. Notes of even prunes behind that, maybe even plum jam, along with. No, it reminds me of dark cherries. Definitely those cherries over there, and they're definitely quite rich. You get that little sweetness working its way from the front palate to sort of the mid palate, not really hitting the back in terms of flavors. So anyway, we're going to now work our way into the finish, and we'll come to our conclusion on the Arran Port Cask finish. So the finish for this whiskey is kind of like an aspect of toffee. It's kind of chewy, it sits on the side of the palate, more actually on the teeth. You get that sort of red fruits coming back through, but it's like a dried fruit, and this is like more like figs, but maybe not fully dried, slightly ripe, and you're just chewing out of that, and you're getting that sort of residue sort of staying on the middle of the palate, working its way towards the back as well. And a slight sort of note again of like juicy red cherries or juicy cherry syrup, if I have to say that, and then even like a slight oaky character, but it's not as heavy as a recent whiskey I've reviewed. So in terms of my review and my rating, I'm going to give this one here an 86 out of 100. Reason behind that, I think it's a really good value for money in terms of £43 for a port cask finish. Great stuff at 50% ABV. Would I add water to this whiskey? It's optional. If you find it too strong, adding water can be an option just to take it down. Or if you want to give it time, I'd say just give it a little time. If you give it a lot of time, I feel it develops this oaky profile, and I did leave this one a little bit more than I probably would. So that oaky profile took over a little bit more than I'd like. But overall, I think this is a really great whiskey. If you're into your port cask finishes, give yourself an option to try one of these from Drinks by the Dram, or that's not an advert for them, but I do recommend their service because I buy a lot from them, and you can see I've rated my whiskey, well, not rated, numbered each distillery. So when because I've got almost 200 samples at home, I have to have the distillery numbers on them there. So definitely give this one a try if you like your port cask finishes. I have reviewed, I think, the Balvenie 21 port cask and the Cavalan port cask, and recently also a one from Eden Mills, which is a port cask finish as well, or maturation. So lots of interesting stuff if you guys do like port cask finishes. And the La Santa from Glenmorangie, how can I forget? No, Quinta Ruban. So lots of port cask finishes on the channel. But anyway, if you have enjoyed the video, I'm going to get off topic right now. Be sure to click the Arran videos over here if you do like the Arran sort of whiskies. And also click my subscribe button over there if you are new to my channel and you haven't already subscribed. Drop the video a like if you have enjoyed it, and let me know your thoughts on the Arran port cask finish down below in the comments section. But on that note, this has been JasonWhiskyWise, and I'll catch you all for the next video.